Today, we're going to be introducing you guys to some new products to replace your worn out compliance rod bushings. So Whiteline has just released some new products. They've got a polyurethane offset bushing here. Then they have a hybrid bushing, which is a spherical bearing that's also offset encased inside of a polyurethane bushing. And then last but not least, we've got the well-known Mountain Pass compression rod bearings. So these give you variable caster adjustment. You can literally pop this arm out when this is pressed in, rotate this eccentric, and get some caster adjustments. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you guys some baseline readings on my car, as well as what the maximum caster adjustments you can receive out of these products will be. Check it out.
We're in my Tesla Model 3 track car, as you can see by the race seat. I've been running this car for a while now with the Mountain Pass Performance spherical bearings in the compliance arms. And you know, they are a race part, not exactly daily driver friendly for NVH on the road, you know, pretty noisy and harsh. So Whiteline came out with a poly bushing recently, and it has a caster offset, so it's good for the track guys, but not a spherical bearing, so it shouldn't, you know, cause all that harshness that we were getting out of a bearing. And this is no fault to MPP, it's just that a spherical bearing is going to be harsher than rubber. So we're going to see how this goes. Okay, so right away we're just going to go over some reflectors, and it's noticeably better, which makes sense because it's not a bearing anymore. It's still, you know, it's definitely stiffer than the stock setup still, because it's a completely sealed urethane pocket instead of the stock rubber that has, you know, little holes in it to allow for a little bit more movement. But it's definitely better. This will be nice for my daily 2-hour commute. This is one of the main reasons I installed it, was to help with the daily driving. If it was only a race car, the spherical bearing's just fine, but I also drive it 150 miles a day, so gotta make it a little better. God, it's so much better. It's such a big difference. Yeah, that clunk noise I was having is gone too, which that must definitely been the bearing.
So we finally got around to installing these Whiteline products on our cars. We kind of flipped things around a little bit after kind of studying the offset on them. We were originally going to put the hybrid bushing or bearing in Steven's car, but we wanted to really kind of get more caster out of it, so we decided to put the polyurethane bushing, which has a much higher degree of caster. I think it was almost 6 millimeters or something, kind of similar to the Mountain Pass one that he currently has in his car. So we decided to put that in his car because he's a way faster driver than me, and he tracks his car every month. And so that way he can really put it through its motions. We can see how quickly he can tear through this polyurethane bushing. So I think that's the goal for him. For me, we decided to put the polyurethane hybrid bearing on my Model Y. And the reason for that is I wanted to daily drive that from the standpoint of someone who cannot drive his car extremely fast and just wants something daily drivable. And I wanted to check the NVH on it. Is there any noise, transmissions, that type of thing that would annoy the regular person? So with that said, the hybrid, polyurethane hybrid bearing only produces a maximum of about 0.5 millimeter, I think. And your polyurethane bushing was what?
6 millimeters?
6 mils.
6 mils of offset.
And then your MPP, what did you have it set at when you pulled it out?
It was about at 4 millimeters of offset.
Oh, it was at 4?
Yeah.
I think minimum offset on Mountain Pass is 2.
Okay.
I think
maybe it was at
2 to 6.
It was at 2 then. It was at
okay,
2.
so it was at 2. And at 2, what was your caster reading on that?
So about 6.5.
I think it was 6.5 too, yeah. So what we did was we actually showed initial readings on my car, which has a factory compliance bushing, a bushing in the compliance arm, compression rod arm. And that was around 5.7 on one side, 6.2. So we'll just average it out to say it's 6 degrees is pretty much the average for the caster on my car, which was, I don't know, maybe about a 30 millimeter drop from factory, because when you drop it, you'll gain some caster, positive caster. So with Steven's car, also at a similar ride height as mine, with the MPP offset at 2 millimeters, he was at 6.5. And now we just went full tilt, max offset on the Whiteline polyurethane bushing. And I think you're reading at what?
7.5, yeah.
7.5 degrees of caster.
And that would be the same as what you would get maxing out the MPP bearing as well, yeah.
Right, so what's nice about the MPP bearing, again, is the fact that it is eccentric, so you can rotate it and you can adjust it without having to extract that assembly from the arm. With Whiteline, you got to set it and forget it. So it's really important that you get everything lined up. We almost suggest that you get initial readings first to see if you have an offset from one side to the other, and then you can kind of adjust each bushing differently if you want to really be about it and get them exactly in the same, same readings. So, final thoughts. I so far have not had, I forgot that I had the bearings in my car. I mean, the guys put them in, I drove it, and I completely forgot I had them in there. So that's a thumbs up for me so far. I literally have maybe 100 miles on them. Steven, thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I went personally from the Mountain Pass bearing to the Whiteline poly bushing. So for me, it was a big improvement in ride quality immediately. I mean, anytime you go from a spherical bearing to adding rubber back into the mix, it's going to be better. So
a little bit more compliance out of it and stuff. And then noise, I mean,
yeah,
I assume the noise, the NVH is probably like a big thing, right?
Yeah, noise is better. So time will tell if these hold up to my daily driving abuse and the monthly track day. So
monthly track, yeah. And we're going to the track March 4th, 5th? March 5th. So we'll be at Button Willow in a couple of weeks. So I think that'll be Steven's first shakedown on it. It'll probably, I'm hoping it'll take some time to get through this bushing.
Yeah, hopefully it'll hold up to the abuse and not deflect too much. The whole reason we upgraded to the Mountain Pass in the first place was under braking, the car would tow out and be very unstable. So hopefully that doesn't come back with the poly bushing, or at least not to the extreme it was with stock. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, is that if you're really, that's kind of why we wanted to embark on this journey, is to see, at what point do we really need to go to a full race, product versus something that this might be the go-between,
Right.
Steven can snap your neck when he brakes. That's why he's so fast. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll keep you posted on some more updates on how these bearings and bushings do in the future. But as always, please like, subscribe, and share.